Hello everyone, and welcome back to Lovella's Coloring. So this is another requested video. It is a request from the lovely Nikki. She is a fellow color tuber and her channel is called Nikki from Niagara, and I'll leave her link to her channel down below in the video description if you want to check her out. She asked if I could show a coloring in, or how I would color in Eriy's Trace Around the World coloring books. The reason she's asking is because this series of Eriy's is different from her previous series, the Romantic Country, which I have right over here. And in this series, all the line work are like dark gray black lines, as you can see. And compared to her Tracing Around the World coloring book series, in this one you would find like a grayish green tinted illustrations, so you can see a big difference in the line work. So Nikki, she wanted to see how one would go about coloring in these coloring books by Eriy with the faint illustrations, and how to handle the tracing part, and on whether to trace with like black fine liner or colored pencils. Just pretty much how would you go about coloring in these books. So what I will be doing in this video is using different mediums to color in a test page from this book, which is right here. I don't know if you can see it. Sorry, it's like shadows. Actually sunny here in the Pacific Northwest just for a bit. I think it's going to rain again, so I'm sorry for the shadow. And you can see little bits of illustrations that she gives, the flowers, some stems, animals. She has little borders right over here. So yeah, I'm going to be using different mediums to color in these test pages, and just to show what you can use. And the medium that I will not be using are the alcohol markers, because they will definitely bleed through these pages. I will go ahead and show you guys the page that Eriy shows of what materials you can use in her books. So right over here she has regular leaded pencils to trace the illustrations. She has colored pencils, watercolor pencils with the water brush, gel pens, probably I think this is like fine liners. She has Posca pens right over here. Posca pens are acrylic paint pens, and I'm thinking this is like Crayola markers, or like the super tips. And then on here she has toothpicks with ink, which is how she illustrates. So it's a lot of different mediums that you can use. I'll go ahead and show you guys some examples of colorings from her book. So let me go ahead and zoom you in. So these are pictures from Instagram. So this is by @mio0211, and this is her coloring of one of the illustrations from this book. So you can see, you can barely, you can't see the lines from the illustrations. It's easily covered with whatever she used to color this page. I'm thinking it's colored pencils. She might have used like gel, or maybe just a white, maybe the soft white Holbein colored pencils to outline the leaves. But she did outline like the books and the candles, the bells. So here's another page that was colored, and here's the person who colored it. Yeah, I think this is also colored pencils. There might be some other stuff used, maybe fine liner to draw the lines right over here. or even the balloon or the words. Here's another one right over here. Here's the person who colored it. And maybe this looks like maybe watercolor. So maybe they did watercolor and then came in with a fine liner or a pencil or colored pencil and drew around the illustration. Sorry, I can't read Japanese, so I'm guessing at this point. And here's another Instagrammer. I really love her work, Mio Muyo. And this is, I think this is pretty much all colored pencils, but you can see that she used like purple, green to outline. So yeah. And here's another one by Natsume Adante. So you can see, like, let's see if I can go up close right here. That's how the artwork or the illustration looks like. Then you can see how she colored it right here. It really works like with the feathers, where you won't see the dark lines or anything like that. So she just drew in the dark lines where she wanted, like around the ducks, the buildings, the edge of her cape. Yeah. And then another thing is you can just outline her illustrations, and that's it. That's another fun way to color in her book. It's just using like fine liners, like maybe like I'm going to use the Arteza twine markers to outline some the illustrations in the test, and this is another way to color in her coloring books. So here's more test page over here, and this is her showing how you color or trace in her coloring book. So you have colored pencils, you have fine liners. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and start with the Arteza twine markers. Okay, so I pulled out the jungle green in the Arteza twine marker. I'm just gonna color in the boxes over here. Just see how it looks. And I got a dark color because I wanted to see if it'll go through. See only like a shadow. I'm sure if I kept going over it over and over again, it would go. And then I'm going to use the other end, which is the fine tip. I don't know if I should go over. That's how it would look. There. Let me see how, let's say I have a Crayola super tip. I'll pull out a green. Pull this. I don't know if this is dark. So I'll color, let's say, this area right over here. Just gonna color it in. I feel like my hand's shaky. Let me just see. No, not really. And let me come back with the jungle green from the twine marker. Just gonna outline this. It is harder to color with the Crayola while it's the faint lines, because I'm like, should I go over it? Let me go ahead and feel like I have to do that. How about if I color with the, you can see it, I kind of went over, okay. And then come in with the Crayola. I think I like having lines, so help me guide where color should be. This looks a lot cleaner than this. So I would, like if I were to use a Crayola, you can kind of see it, but it's not like leaking through the page. So this is with Crayola and twine markers. Oops, I'll keep the twine markers out. Okay, so another one I want to try is with the Tombow dual brush pen, marker pen. So what I'm going to do is use the fine point end and trace around this. And then I'll use the brush tip part to color it in. There. Let's see. Nope. Don't really see anything going on the other side. So with a Tombow, it would be okay. What I'm going to do is, let me see if I can get a red one. I also want to see if it'll go through. So I'm going to use this red one, and I'm going to color, let's say just this flower right over here. I'm going to outline it. Like holding my breath, trying to follow the lines. There you go. And then I don't know if I want to do those sections. Probably this. Maybe a pink for the middle part. I'm not seeing the colors right here. So I want to see if the red went through. No, just barely. I don't see it bleeding. I can see the shape of it though. Okay. So now I'm going to come in with the colored pencils. I still have the pencils I was using for the rose. Just gonna do dark outside, then go in. I'm just gonna, this is the Prismacolors I'm using. And I'm just trying to see how like that. So I'm gonna use Deco Pink. I want to do the middle right here. I'm just using the Deco Pink to blend these. Blend this in. Yeah. I like how it looks. It looks seamless if you use the Tombow to outline it. Yeah, so that's just one way to color it. If you have Tombow or if you have a fine liner, I think it should be okay. So this is probably what I would do to color in this book. Use a Tombow or a fine liner and come in with pencils. And I thought I would also show watercolor pencils and how they would look. And I wanted to see, just to be sure about whether to use watercolor pencils before or after. Not sure. So yeah, there's the petals right there. Let me see how it look with just the pencils. I'll do it on this one. So I'm just gonna color it with the dark. I'll do black fine liner. I have the Staedtler Tri Plus fine liner right here. I'm just gonna do a black one. This is a really thin one, so let me go ahead and check the back again. Nope. And then just color it in. So I'm just going to do the same thing I did with this side. Just laying down the darker color. Wondering if the black fine liner will stay. Here. And then I just want to burnish this in. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I shouldn't have. My hands are smearing the ink, so it's still wet. I would then, knowing that now, good thing this is like a tester page, wait for the fine liners to dry before I come in with my colored pencil. Okay, so now I'm bringing in a Faber-Castell Polychromos. This is a harder pencil compared to the Prisma, and what I'm going to do is color these leaves, and then I'm going to come in with a gel pen. So I'm going to use the Sparkle Pop green. So I'll go ahead and color this in really quick. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to outline. I like outlining it. Get another color. Wonder what happens if I go like this. So I haven't colored in these books yet, so this is me also testing and just sharing it with you guys. I don't like that one. Let me see. I will draw the line and then color from here. Here. Looks a lot better. This one's kind of messy. Oops. This one's just one color. Let me go ahead and color on top with the Sparkle Pop. Just want to see how it looks. That looks fun. I don't know. I just like the sparkle. But even just using these gel pens in these books would be okay. So I'm gonna try not to smear the gel pen so I can show you. It does not go through. No bleed through or anything with gel pens. So gel pens is a nice way to color in this book. Also to do something like this example right over here. And now I'm going to go and pull out some watercolor pencils, and I'm going to show you, or I'm going to try and see how I would use those in these books. So I pulled out the Albrecht Faber-Castell. These are watercolor pencils. And I pulled out the same colors that I used on this one. What I'm going to do is, because I was thinking about using maybe the twine marker to outline it, but I think it might run if I use a water brush. So I think I'm going to color with the watercolor pencils first, wet it with the water brush, and then go over with the twine marker. So I'll go ahead and color this in. Let's see how this goes. There. To make sure I put enough pigment there too. See, without the lines I start going everywhere. So here. Okay, I think that's good enough. I'm gonna come in with my water brush. I used the Zig Kuretake one. This is the fine point. This is the smallest one. I'm just gonna go with the where the lighter part of the leaf is. So just getting a paper towel. So you can see that you start to like lose the line in the background. I don't know what that is. I think that's a there was a lint. So I was taking that out. There. So I don't want to go over it yet with the fine liner or with the twine marker because it's still wet. Let me just see the other side. No, paper holds up really well. So I'm going to let this dry and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I thought while this part is drying, I'll go ahead and outline this one with the Polychromos green that I have. And then I'm going to go over it with the watercolor pencils. I don't think it should bleed. So I'm just going to color it in like I would color any leaf. The same colors that I used for this leaf. This is just a smaller leaf. So I have my water brush and I'm going to go over the light part first and then go over the dark. Okay. So that's how it would look like if I use colored pencils to outline it and then come over with watercolor pencils. And can't see it. Hold on. You can see because it's wet where I colored the leaf, but you don't see the color bleeding through. Let me see. I think that's dried enough. So I'll come in with the same jungle green that I used before. Well, let me see. I'll use the olive green instead. I think that's a better color. Let me go try it right over here. What color it looks like. These are really fine too, so go ahead. See, hopefully my hand doesn't shake. So I'm just gonna draw over it. And right here. And I can't remember. I think I can barely see the line that was there before, so I'm just gonna draw my own lines. So there you go. So yeah, the reason I didn't use the twine markers to outline it first because this is water based, and if I use the water brush, I'm sure it's going to end up smearing, and I don't want that to happen. I believe it will. Let me go ahead and try this end right here. Yeah, so you can see that it smears out. So that's what would have happened. So it's better to just let it dry and then trace on top of it. So that's two different ways. So this is with the colored pencils outlining, and this one is with the twine marker, but the twine marker is after the colored pencils is before. Let me see if I can go before. Was this colored pencil? What did I do here? Watercolor? No, that was pencils. Yeah. So I'm just going over it again just to make it darker. There. And I have some highlighters here. And if you want to see how it would look like, let me go ahead and move right here. I'm just gonna use this midline highlighter. Hopefully it doesn't go through, but I'll go ahead and color it in right here. I don't like that little dot there. Let me see if it went through. Nope, it didn't go through. So you can't see it. But these are midliner highlighters. There's like, I don't know, 12 or 15 different colors of these. And you can either leave it like that, or you can use the other end, which has the finer point, to color in. So maybe like, sorry, move the book again. With this one, you can just trace around the lines. The middle probably be like yellow instead of the blue, but that's pretty much it. And then you can leave the illustration just like that. Let me see. Can gel pens go over petals? Like this is with pencils. Let me go ahead and try. So I'm using the Sparkle Pop, and I'm just going to go over. See? Yeah. No bleed throughs or anything. So I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of any other mediums. I mean, I have like neocolors and watercolors, but that's pretty much the same as using the Albrecht Dürer. I would do the water-based first, color it in, and then any outlines I would do it after, either with colored pencils or fine liners or like twine markers. But as always, I would have a test page for introducing new materials, new mediums for your coloring book. Let me go ahead and zoom out. So I hope doing these tests of these mediums in this book, especially in Eriy's Tracing Around the World series, gives you an idea of what to use and how you would go about coloring in these books. Down below, I will provide the links to where these books could be purchased on both Amazon and on Etsy from the stores that I could find. I do suggest pricing out these books, especially between Amazon and Etsy, just to see which ones would be the price for you, especially, with shipping. If you are wondering about how to go about ordering from Amazon Japan, I'll also leave a link down below to Coloring Queen's video on how to order from there. It is how I did it. I watched her video and it was pretty easy to do, and they ship really fast for me, but it might be because I live on the west coast of the States. I don't know, but I do know that I have yet to encounter any problems with their shipping. So yeah, I hope I covered everything. I might have missed something, but if there's any questions that you may have, please don't hesitate to leave them down below in the comments, or you can email me at lovellascoloring@gmail.com. So yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, please take care and happy colorings. Bye bye.